You are 17 years old, and you have just signed your name on a ship's articles. There is no going back now. The port smells of salt, tar, and fish. Your old life on land already feels far away. A rough hand slaps your shoulder. "Welcome aboard," the boatswain grunts. "Try not to die in the first week." You look up at the mast, taller than any building you have ever seen. Somehow, it does not feel real yet. The ship pulls away from the dock, and the coastline shrinks behind you until it disappears completely. The crew comes from everywhere: escaped sailors, freed slaves, runaway farmers. Nobody asks where you came from. On this ship, everyone gets a vote. The captain can be replaced if the crew is unhappy. That surprises you. You are handed a hammock, a wooden bowl, and a warning: steal from a crewmate, and you lose a hand. An older sailor named Tom shows you how to tie your first proper knot, laughing at your clumsy fingers. For the first time in your life, you feel like you might actually belong somewhere. Every ship like this one lives by a strict code, written down and signed by the whole crew before the anchor is ever raised. Break it, and the punishment is swift and often brutal. Fighting on board is forbidden. Disputes are settled on land instead, with pistols or swords, far from where a stray shot could sink the ship. Gambling with dice or cards is banned too, because debts between crewmates have torn ships apart from the inside before, turning brothers into enemies overnight. Anyone caught being a coward in battle or abandoning their post while the crew fights for their lives can be marooned on a barren island with nothing but a pistol and one bullet. Injuries earn compensation from the shared treasure. A lost leg or eye is worth a set number of coins, decided long before anyone bleeds for it. It sounds harsh, but for men with nothing else to protect them, this code is often fairer than any law they knew back on land. Your day starts before sunrise, scrubbing the deck on your knees until your hands are raw. Breakfast is hard biscuit, so full of weevils that sailors joke the bugs are extra meat. By noon, you are hauling ropes, patching sails, and learning knots you did not know existed. In the evening, someone pulls out a fiddle, and for an hour, the ship feels almost like home. There is no privacy, no rest, and barely enough water. Yet somehow the sea air makes it bearable. On the 9th day, the sky turns black in minutes. Waves rise higher than the ship itself. You cling to a rope with both hands as freezing water crashes over the deck again and again. A crewmate slips and is almost swept overboard. 2 others grab him just in time. Thunder cracks so loudly you feel it in your chest. And for a moment, you are certain the ship will break apart. When the storm finally passes, the ship is battered, but somehow everyone is still alive. Fresh food runs out fast at sea, and after weeks without fruit or vegetables, sailors' gums start to bleed and their teeth loosen. A disease called scurvy that most ships cannot escape. Rats infest every corner of the ship, gnawing through rope, wood, and stored food, and no one has yet figured out how to be rid of them completely. Sailors are deeply superstitious. Whistling on deck is said to summon a storm, and bringing a woman aboard is considered an omen of disaster. A black cat crossing the deck, or a cross-eyed sailor joining the crew, can be enough to make grown men refuse to sail until the bad luck is somehow undone. When sickness spreads below deck, there is no real doctor, only a barber with a knife and whatever herbs happen to be on board. You quickly learn to trust the old sailor's warnings, even the strange ones, because out here, superstition and survival often look exactly the same. Weeks later, a lookout spots a merchant ship on the horizon, heavy and slow with cargo. The captain raises a false flag to get close, a trick as old as piracy itself. Your heart pounds as the crew quietly loads the cannons and grips their weapons. Up close, you can see frightened faces on the other ship's deck. Ordinary sailors, just like you once were. Most captains surrender without a real fight. A dead crew brings no profit to anyone. This time, the merchant ship refuses to surrender, and cannon fire rips through the air. You charge across a wooden plank onto the enemy deck, screaming louder than you feel. The fight is brutal, fast, and over in minutes. 2 of your crewmates do not get up again. Smoke fills the air, and the deck beneath your feet is slick with things you try not to look at. Victory does not feel like the stories describe it. It feels heavy and strangely quiet. Below decks, the cargo is not gold, but crates of sugar, cloth, and coin, still worth a fortune. Under pirate rules, the loot is split fairly. The captain gets a larger share, but everyone gets something. You have never held this much money in your life. For a moment, it almost feels worth it. That night, the crew celebrates loudly, but you notice 2 empty hammocks where your friends used to sleep. You quietly put your share into a small pouch, unsure if you will ever get the chance to spend it. One gray morning, a lookout spots a Navy warship on the horizon, flying colors that make every man on deck go silent. The captain orders every spare sail raised, and the ship groans as it strains to outrun a vessel built for exactly this chase. Crew members throw anything heavy over the side, spare rope, broken crates, even fresh water, desperate to make the ship lighter and faster. For hours, the warship slowly gains, its cannons visible now, until a sudden squall rolls in and hides your ship completely from view. When the rain clears, the horizon is empty again, and the whole crew breathes for what feels like the first time in hours. You realize then that luck, not skill alone, decides whether a pirate lives to see another sunrise. Every few months, the ship anchors near a hidden pirate port, a lawless town where captains from a dozen crews drink side by side without fear of the noose. You spend your share of the treasure fast, on rum, on new boots, on a warm meal that someone else has cooked for you for once. Rumors travel quickly here. Which Navy ships are hunting, which crews, which ports have turned dangerous, and which captains have quietly vanished at sea. For a few days, you almost forget the danger of your life, laughing with strangers who understand exactly what you have been through. But the harbor master always warns the same thing: stay too long, and the Navy will eventually find out where pirates gather. Within a week, the ship sails again, and the town disappears behind you, just like every port before it. Most pirates do not retire rich. Disease, storms, and the noose take far more than treasure ever gives. You know the Navy hangs pirates in port squares, as a warning to anyone who might follow. Still, out here, you are not just a peasant or a farmhand. You are the captain of your own fate. Years from now, people will tell wild stories about pirates like you, most of them wrong, some of them true. Whether this life ends in a tavern with gold in your pocket or a rope around your neck, you chose it yourself. Some pirates do eventually earn a pardon from the crown, trading their old life for a promise never to raise the black flag again. Others simply vanish, taking on new names in new ports, disappearing from history as easily as they once appeared in it. In the end, every pirate's story ends the same way, with the sea deciding, long after any captain or crew ever could. That is the price, and the promise of a life spent chasing freedom on the high seas.